Okay. This must be the portal then. Hello, this is Mackerel Phones. I'm playing The Sea Will Claim Everything. This is an adventure game. So now that I've explained what I know about it, I also know that it's pretty text-heavy. So if you don't want me to read you a book, well, sorry, but that's what this is going to be. You should go not watch this then. Or you could do one better and play the game yourself. Anyway, so initiate new connection, I guess. Time runs at a different pace in the lands of Dream, huh? Okay. I can relax, slow down, and take my time. I often think about that old metaphor, the one that says we are all islands on a wide sea, especially these days now that things are more difficult than before and the world appears to be harsher than we once imagined it to be. We are all like islands, the philosopher said. Perhaps it's true, yet I cannot help but remember an older saying, scratched on a cave wall somewhere by a long-forgotten prophet. In the end, the sea will claim everything. The ancient words crash into my mind like waves, waking me from sleep, filling me with feelings I cannot fully understand. We are like islands. Does it mean we are connected? Do we share a common origin? Or just the common fate of sinking? I'm sorry. I've drifted off into my thoughts again. You have come, and I should welcome you properly. Thank you for hearing my call, for using this window. I am in great need of assistance. Underhome was invaded by disgusting, violent goons claiming it was being foreclosed. I kicked them out, but the house is panicked and nothing is working as it should. And I fear there is more evil at work here in the Fortunate Isles. Lord Urizen is putting pressure on our leaders, and his ships are tainting the seas with their filth. I wish I knew the details, but I'm stuck here, trying to keep everything in balance. You know, it would probably be a lot simpler to explain everything via the proper dialogue interface. Assuming it works, of course. I had to grow it all rather quickly. Grow it? So you grew our window? Wait, the graphics are still off, aren't they? Silly me. Could you turn them on? It's that lever on your left. Which lever? I mean, I think there are a couple of them. Okay, so that's a switch. There we go! Ah, much better. So let's give this a go. Click on the arrow, then on me, and hope nothing blows up. Okay. So, I guess we're viewing this dimension to the lands of Dream and the Fortunate Isles through this window. I just somehow get the feeling that maybe Fortunate Isles is a bit of an ironic name. So, I take it you're the one who initiated contact? Hello there. Biotalkatron enabled. Wall of text active. Dialogue operations functional. Oh, and the smell of the day is lavender. I don't like lavender that much. I mean, I guess well, hold on. His name is the Mysterious Druid. But Mysterious Druid is hyphenated. What are these? I mean, I guess they're like dialogue options, but why is it the? The? I am the Mysterious Druid, scion of the Mysterious Druid family, devoted to the arts of Techno-druidism. That is to say, to the making and shaping of living technology. I am fully aware of the ironic nature of my name, and have come to see it as something to be oddly proud of. Please, just call me the. Oh, I see. His name is the. Like, given name the. He's Mr. Mysterious Druid, okay. So, could you tell me about this window? I don't think there's a window in the room, so I mean, you called this, my interface, a window. Yeah, Yeah. Yes, the window allows you to directly interact with our world using nothing but that mouse, was it? I can never remember what kind of biotech the people of your world use. Thankfully, time runs differently in our two universes, so if you close the window and return later, no time will have passed on our side. The window also allows you to pick up objects and talk to people using the special interfaces. Oh, and I'm sorry about the movement arrows. They're a bit rubbish, really, but I just didn't have the time to grow better ones. Well, as long as they work. So, Eddie? What is... Okay, so I guess I'll explain. Eddie is a holographic artificial intelligence that helps me take care of Underhome. Well, that is his function, but it's not all he is. He's not just a machine. He's also a transvestite with an excellent dress sense, a mean druidism, the reaping player, and my friend. Huh? What? I know all those words, but not in... Look, I followed you up until you got past the part that says excellent dress sense. A mean druidism, the reaping player, and my friend. A mean druidism, the reaping. Well, whatever. It'll make sense later. So, what's going on in the Fortunate Isles, Mysterious Druid? Or the? The Fortunate Isles are the place that this window that you see on your screen is connected to. We're on the Isle of the Moon, the northernmost of the isles. The two other major islands are the Isle of the Sun and the Isle of the Stars, though there are also many tiny unexplored islands around. It's a beautiful part of the Lands of Dream, and one I care deeply about. Underhome. Underhome, these caverns and rooms that you see around you, have been the home of the Mysterious Druid family for generations. It was begun by Matilda Mysterious Druid, my great-great-great-grandmother. But you must understand that this is no ordinary house. Underhome is a living being, a huge and complex creature, quite unlike anything you know. It does not think and feel like you and I do, but it does think and feel. And what has happened to it is a violation. It is hurt, and afraid, and trying to protect itself and its inhabitants. Help? I don't even know where to begin. A group of goons entered Underhome a few days ago, claiming the house was being foreclosed, that I had to move out and that they could take all my belongings. They broke several things, ruined an ancient carpet that belonged to my grandmother, and put the house into a state of panic. To make matters worse, the ecological and biomagical balance of the entire region seems to be in flux. I'm trying to do what I can with the limited systems at my disposal, but it's not enough. And on top of that, I haven't heard back from Niam, my girlfriend, who went to investigate the imbalance several weeks ago. And let me guess, we need to find her? Niam left several days before the foreclosure goons arrived. She was going to travel around, take some readings to help us understand the imbalances that we think are being caused by Lord Urizen's ships, but she hasn't been gone long enough for me to be seriously worried. But if you could keep an eye out for her, I'd appreciate it. These are strange times, and we're not always safe when we should be. Even in normal times, we're not safe when we should be. I'm gonna say that's Urizen. It might be Urizen or Urizen, but I'm going to say Urizen, as I have been. So, why has there been a foreclosure? Yes, apparently our house is facing foreclosure, but the thing is I tried to explain to those goons, we've never taken up a credit with a bank. It's absurd. Underhome has belonged to my family for generations. We built it ourselves. How dare these greedy monsters claim they can just take it away from us? Maybe Mayor, Penglog can help us figure out what is going on. Could be Punglog. I'm gonna go with Penglog. Underhome is a living being, and the damage it has taken from the goons is both physical and psychological. Both types of damage may not be readily apparent, and may in some ways be interconnected. Ask the other inhabitants for help and advice, especially Waikato, the Tanua fish on the second floor. He's lived here even longer than I have. My great-grandfather and he were close friends, having met in a faraway country where they speak in a very peculiar way. Waikato can swim through Underhome's arteries and find problems that we are otherwise, that are otherwise hard to detect. Yeah, they're hard to detect otherwise. Well, I guess that's it, huh, I get it. You're very busy trying to keep things in order in whatever way you can, so you're calling on me to help you. So, this is our window, huh? Uh-huh. And what does this do? Okay. That messes with the display of our location. A portrait of Rupert Mysterious Druid. Wow, there's some strong family resemblance. This is a painting of Herbert Mysterious Druid. A chameleon mushroom cleverly disguised as a portrait. A small portrait of Mutatio, the mysterious druid family dog. A portrait of Theodore Mysterious Druid, the black sheep of the family. Well, what did Theodore do? You know, just because he's the black sheep, like, what did he do to deserve it? This button goes beep. That's its only function. An orange button. A green button? No, this one turns transosmotic. Okay. I mean, you know, a game like, say, Final Fantasy II is the black sheep of its series, but it's not really that bad per se. So what's this? It's... Oh. Well, that's sad. A candle made of communist wax? Because it's like red? Okay, and so this one's blue, so it's the conservative candle? No, it's made out of ice. That wouldn't be a very good candle. A nail that's waiting to exhale. A nail that is afraid of hail. This nail knows how to sail. Is this gonna be a nail that is male? No. Oh, yes! I got it! In your face, nail! I don't know what I'm talking about. This ancient stone spent thousands of years deep in the bowels of the earth, in dark places where no human will ever go. It's useful for leaning against. Yeah, it's true. I guess that's true of all rocks, though. Don't touch that, it'll turn you purple. So, is this the window telling us this, or is it like, or are these lines that the has programmed in to it? There's really no telling. So is this a mushroom? No, it's a lever. And this is also... Oh, this is the lever for the quantum micro gamma fight containment core. Okay. This can only be an anthic particle accelerator. Anthic energy flows gently and silently. It's not very fast, but it doesn't harm the environment, and it smells nice. Well, of course it's not harming the environment. It's like plants, right? These techno-druids, like, grow technology out of plants, because it looks like their monitor there is also grown into a plant, and I bet this window we're using something similar. Oh, the machine's a Petalonian plasma conduit. Yeah, well, it's obviously the machine's angaryospermatological magnetic flux converter. Well, I mean, duh. Everybody knows the angospermiological that thing. Okay. Now, you see, that last joke, I think, is a little condescending, because it's like, everybody knows this. But this one really is. I mean, everybody has heard of a magnoliphitic impulse capacitator. It's like it's a household word. This bottle contains 27 polypeptides. A bottle of liquid mustache ions. Yeah, I think that, the would have a lot of those. An amino acid lubricant primarily used in the creation of slippery proteins. Sure, that's the technical term. There is a lot of detail here. A nail bought in a sale. Oh, yeah, there are more nails. Okay, this is going to be a nail that doesn't want to fail. No, it's one that can read Braille. So, Oh, On the Properties of Cellular Mitosis by Mr. Nose. The Principles of Wait a minute. Are these all books? Can we look at all of the books? A Macroevolutionary History of Cookies. A small purple box of chocolates. The contents no longer resemble chocolate, but are beginning to approach full sentience. Yeah. Oh, Stephen Jay Gould. I believe he's real. And Experiments in Mendel Hybridization by Robert Plant. Well, of course, well, that's a very famous one. I mean, like, you see, the joke is that the real thing is, Experiments in Plant Hybridization by Mendel. But here, it's Experiments in Mendel Hybridization by Plant. You see what they did there? It's kind of like a... Oh, Feynman! Richard P. Feynman. Now, there's a guy for you. I think he's the guy who said that accounting was to physics, like in math, what masturbation is to true love. Anyway, what's this thing? Oh, this is Eddie. Okay. So about the air filter. I think there's something wrong with the air filtration system. It's not dangerous at the moment, but it needs to be fixed. I'd guess that all that needs to be done is for the correct setting to be engaged once. Underhome generally knows what it's supposed to do, it's just a little confused at the moment. Control room. This room is the heart of Underhome. Well, that's not really true. Underhome has an actual heart. It's about as big as a boulder. So this room isn't really like a heart at all. I don't know why I said that, just pretend I didn't. Imagine I said that this is the room from which the can control many of the house's functions, including its magical sensory organs. That's why you can't leave until the current crisis is over. And you're Eddie, right? I've always had an irresistible desire to wear clothing. Some say it's inappropriate for a holographic AI to wear clothing, but why? I say, do as you please, so long as it doesn't hurt anyone. And if someone disagrees, murder them. That was a joke. No, it wasn't. I'm a killer AI. No, I'm not. You would say that. Freaky, huh? True story. Huh? Was that like an exchange between Eddie and the? Well, anyway, I don't really think you're a transvestite since you are genderless because you're a robot. But then again, I guess gender is like the psychological aspect of it, and I guess if it's an artificial intelligence, it might assume some sort of gender identity. But then, whatever, who cares? Like you say, he's not hurting anybody. So about the foreclosure. Yeah, it makes about as much sense on wheels as wheels on a giraffe. Not a lot. So tell me about the Fortunate Isles. You're probably pretty smart. I mean, you've probably been around a while. You could be much older than the. So there's 3 main islands. The Isle of the Sun, the Isle of the Stars, and the Isle of the Moon. Each has its own government and its own traditions, but relations have always been good. There used to be a lot of travel before the economy went bust. Now, not so much. I think that's a shame. Roots. Waikato mentioned something about the roots having absorbed the wrong materials from the ground. There are settings for that, which you can only access in the root cellar. Part of the problem is that no one has touched those. No one hyphenated. When no one is not one word, no one is 2 words. No one. I mean, at least they didn't write noonie, but it's no one. 2 words is how you spell it. I mean, with all the books just in this room, I'd think you'd know a thing or two about. Well, who am I kidding? In the next 100 years, it'll probably be written as 1 word. Anyway, no one has touched those settings for years, not since before the was born. There's a lot we don't know about Underhome, sadly. So, I guess you have been around longer than the in that case. I think he's made his family proud. It's not easy being the son of such great thinkers and inventors, but he's taken a lot of care of Underhome with a great deal of dedication and love. And what do you think of Underhome? Everything's a bit of a mess at the moment, with the house being in shock, the being completely overworked. God, the name just keeps throwing me off. and me not having any hands. Does the word chaos ring a bell? Okay. Well, guess we'll keep looking at books, right? I mean, these are books. You have Political Structures of the Quantum State, a visual encyclopedia of exploding mushrooms by the Oneiropolis Exploding Mushrooms Department. The Oneiropolis University. That sounds very dangerous. Bob the Spider wrote a book. Good for a spider, I guess. So, Physics and Magic, Aspects of Force by Harab Al-T-Tricker, Joseph Brom. Wait, T-Trinker. Al-T-Trinker sounds like it's starting out is an Arabic name, but then it becomes something completely different. Wait, Babbage? Isn't Charles Babbage a real guy? I think Ada Lovelace is a real person too, although I'm not sure. I don't know everything, okay, guys? The green screen of death and other common problems in Techno-druidism, huh? Man. Oh, it's a guide to fictional technology. You know, I sure wish that Techno-druidism was real. I'm gonna guess these guys do a lot less human sacrifices than the real druids. A tiny pink mushroom called Fred. It's pink? Looks kind of red to me. It's more like I guess it's a feather boa is pink. Anyway, we'll be on our way. Okay, here we are on the 3rd floor. An entirely unremarkable mushroom. This mushroom would prefer to be left alone. It doesn't like people. Must be why it's trying to get out of our window. This mushroom houses a colony of schnarbles. This mushroom tastes of terrible tiramisu. Terrible? I mean, I guess it's possible. I've never had terrible tiramisu. Eating this mushroom causes one's ears to liquefy. Ugh! Well, I'm not gonna eat it then. A cluster of conspiratorial mushrooms. This mushroom is asleep. This mushroom is purring. A genetically modified orange. While some oranges grow in naturally weird shapes, there's a tiny earthworm sleeping under this mushroom. Do earthworms sleep? I wouldn't know. I'm not an earthworm, you see. I mean, I'm a mackerel phones. A bit of ceiling cabbage. Ceiling cabbage. Looks like a mushroom, but isn't one. Okay. This mushroom is tending its spores. Bob the Spider once built a galleon under this mushroom. Oh, he was an author and he built a galleon. Very industrious spider, Bob the Spider. Oh, and these mushrooms are married. I guess marriage exists in this society then? Of the species Amanita squeakina. Well, you keep being you, mushroom. I love you. A portrait of Bedelia Mysterious Druid. Really, that was squeaky mushroom. Amanita is a, real, classification of mushrooms. So it's really interesting to me because it makes me think that, okay, so I guess that means that this timeline they're on, it hasn't diverged too much from our own timeline, because they have the same Latin classification of plants. So, the suspicious flower is refusing to let you enter the elevator. Okay, so that's the elevator. I would explain the buttons. Mysterious flower. Is that this? Yeah? What do you want? So you're a suspicious flower, huh? Who's asking? Why are you so paranoid, man? I just want to get on the lift. Who told you that? Well, can you let me on the elevator? I ain't letting you in there. I don't know you from Jake. I don't even know who Jake is, and I sure as hell ain't going to take your word on the matter. Great. So it says scroll updated. Is that this? Okay, yeah, that is this. So okay, it's the scroll of quests. They keep track of our objectives. I'm glad the window does that. It's going to make this a lot easier, I expect, and I really do appreciate that despite being so busy, Thal would go out of his way to help us like that. So we need to find Neum, heal Underhome, investigate the pending foreclosure, and we might want to see the mayor of Port... to ask for information and ask about the suspicious flower. Oh, well, okay, yeah, all the things they've talked about, basically. Now, what else is up here? Boxes. Let's not start rummaging through these boxes unless you have to. That is some good advice, I suspect. Old Macrophones doesn't need to look at all these boxes. There's a lot of them. And what's in here? Well, this is the library. Huh. It looks like they might have as many books as I do. So, let's see what we got here, other than a mushroom. A highly literate mushroom. Well, would be if it lives in the library. A staff from the kingdom of the enigmatic snakes. It belongs to Alexander, Mysterious Druid. That's a snake? I mean, I guess so. I thought it was like a duck. A walking stick made of wonton. A very powerful, magical umbrella. It can do almost anything except keep the rain away. So, it's very useful if it can do almost anything, but it's pretty useless as an umbrella. It's very ironic. Now, this stick harnesses the power of gems. In other words, it does nothing. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, that's what the real power of gems is. A biogenic photo of a desert landscape on the Isle of the Stars. A polythronic armchair from Billion Toad City. There's a city called Billion Toad City. I like that. We should go there. I hope we meet all those toads. Oh, it's photonic quantum wood. Well, duh. Okay, we found a disc. So, can we look at all of these books? We might be able to. Hellboy. Huh. It's not what I expected to find here. I mean, all these, like, academic texts and then Hellboy. Oh, actually, that's interesting, because Hellboy, of course, also exists in our timeline. So that must mean that on this timeline, the manifold applications of bananas. You can eat them. If you have diarrhea, they can make you constipated. I think. And they're also very nutritious. You can use them in banana splits. Anyway, what the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, Mr. Nose again. So, clearly, there are a lot of books on this timeline, at least some books, that, wait, fashionable nonsense, postmodern intellectuals' abuse of science, that's a real book. So does that mean... Okay, I'm pretty sure that's a real book, and I think I don't know if those are the name of the authors, but that is a real book. So, how many of these are real books? Oh, it's, the incomplete guide to non-fictional disease prevention. That's useful. Fictional disease prevention isn't too good to anything. But, okay. So, wait, China well, I'm never sure how to say that name. He is also a real author. I read a book of his called, The City in the City, which was a sort of almost Kafka-like premise. There's this town in, like, a former Soviet country where there are two cities that occupy the same space, but, and it's capital by Marx because it's red, so it's communist, like the candle. And this is the Encyclopedia of Pseudoscience. Anyway, but I stepped on the Frankfurt School and it made a squishy sound. Strikes me as a very British kind of joke. The Delicious Book of Edible Welding Paraphernalia by Zunki Flamengo. I gotta focus on The City in the City. And so the idea was that, it's a pink book. That there are two cities with different cultures and governments that occupy, due to some kind of accident of bureaucratic history, the history of Hyrule. Okay, so I guess that means that we're on the same timeline as The Legend of Zelda. So, okay, and so if this is just a parallel timeline to our timeline, wait, this is another real book. I have this book. This book is in my library, Shadows of Forgotten Ancestors. And the panda's thumb is not, though. Oh, they swapped them around again. Well, anyway, so, and the people have to, like, it's illegal to go from one city to the other city, even though they occupy the same physical space. And so the people in one city have just sort of learned to completely phase out the other city and completely ignore it. Because the other city, like the two cities have very distinct architectural styles and clothing styles, etc. And they tend to be rather lenient with people who come from out of town, but they are more... Wait, The Demon-Haunted World by Carl Sagan is another book I have. That's a great book. That's all, but I'm talking about the city in the city. Let me finish my one thought on this. I say as I move the cursor inexorably forward. Yeats! William Butler Yeats is another person from our timeline. So that means that in the same way that there was those divergences back in that means that the timeline here, so this timeline is the same timeline where Hyrule exists. I mean, I wonder where this falls relative to, Breath of the Wild. Okay, so this is the triangle, and it says yes. I didn't really expect you to be a person to talk to, so, how about you tell me about yourself? Oh. Well, thanks for your time, triangle. You're kinda creeping me out. And these ones look like CDs. Okay, I think they're not CDs, judging by these titles. Well, the first two titles. Wow. Well, anyway, so as I was saying, if I remember right, the plot involves, like, there's been a murder, and it seems somebody in one of the cities murdered someone from another city, and this is a huge deal there, because it would completely undo the foundation of their society. I'm not quite sure what it all means, but it does strike me. I thought it was a pretty good novel. You know, certainly a unique idea, and I thought it was executed pretty well. I guess in the end, I just thought it might be too subtle. I prefer things to hammer you over the head. I say it's subtle, but maybe it wasn't. I guess I say it's subtle because I'm not sure what overall point was intended to be, wait, Middle Earth? That's where Lord of the Rings happens, right? So, well, it's called Atlas of Middle Earth. That doesn't necessarily mean it's real here, unlike the history of Hyrule. So, the rise of disaster capitalism? I'm not sure what that means. Show me the vitamins. The world's most boring inspirational speeches by Joseph Garf. That does sound like a boring inspirational speech. Oh, and fictional disease prevention. I guess it's a companion to the non-fictional disease prevention book we saw earlier. Wait, History of the Gnomes, a Marxist perspective. I mean, okay. Oh yeah, Uzaga Manuka Tremka Smirunigo by Elchak Rachintas. Yeah. So are these more books here? Yeah, The Poverty of Philosophy. Well, it's bright red and it's another Marx. I expect we're going to find the other volumes of Capital in here somewhere, right? Oh, the worm Ouroboros. I remember that guy, eating himself. Stephen Fry, is that the guy from Futurama? This looks like a big tooth. Nothing else in there. It's a diamond. The color indicates that it's probably a communist. Yeah, there's been a lot of communism in these few rooms alone. Speak of the devil, Bolshewisky. Because it's red and it's like whiskey? Get it? Okay. So, am I really gonna look at all these books? Well, I'm like halfway through by now. Like I'm really gonna stop. And there's one based on the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Everybody's always so in love with that Bardo Thidol. Attack of the Wild Nipples? I mean, okay. I remember that somebody wrote a book called The Day My Butt Went Wild, and it was... I mean, I never read it. I'm sure it was a highly intelligent work. Wait, The Soul of Man Under Socialism? What? Anyway, I'm going to guess that that Attack of the Nipples is something similar, but with nipples. Which strikes me, frankly, as a more pleasant book. But then again, I mean, I don't know, because that means people might be fighting nipples, and I don't even want to imagine what that could look like. I mean, you could talk about nipples all you want, but I don't want to hear about nipples attacking people. That's not what they're for. On the improper use of impolite language. Well, see, that's ironic. Because you wouldn't expect, impolite language to have a proper use, when as a matter of fact, it does. I don't know, though, if it's like in Japanese, where informal language has its own distinct grammatical structures. Is this a communist book? I don't know, because I don't know what G-car is. It could be G-car. Oh, and look, they swapped the names again, like they did with Mendel and Plant. So here's Star Maker by Olaf Stapledon. Stapledon is one of the first ever great science fiction authors. And here we have a book to opposing postmodernism. So I'm going to suspect that the Mysterious Druid family is not a fan of postmodernism, and here's a book I sure as hell did not expect to see here, Dark Tower. I've never had much respect for Stephen King, but I've never wanted to, say that, because it'd be unfair to do it without reading his work first, and they also have Frederick Douglass. I mean, I don't know if Frederick Douglass wrote a book of that title. I only know, he wrote his memoirs, of course, as his, great classic contribution to American literature. One of the greats he is, a minor hero of mine. And I say minor probably because I just haven't read any of his works. I'd probably feel more strongly if I had. I might say I just love the guy, but I think he's pretty handsome anyway. Love the curly hair. But here we have Those Damn Baboons, a children's novel by Lucinda Strunkelfirth. I'm going to kill those baboons. A children's novel. So I guess this is is this the Baboon series shelf? Yeah, someone stop those baboons. Death by Baboons It Shall Be, a children's novel. It don't really sound like they'd be a kid's novel, but whatever, Strunkelfirth can write what she wants. Protocols of the Elders of Baboonia. Oh, this is taking a dark turn. A final solution to the baboon problem. Oh my god! This went dark real fast. She was a Nazi. The Sad Decline of Lucinda Strunkelfirth, collected essays by Pablo Hamadryas. So they then have the sort of retrospective on the decline of poor Strunkelfirth as she slipped into madness. The Protocols of the Elders of Baboonia is a reference to the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, which is a book that's completely fraudulent. It was published in I think the 1890s. That was once again by Al-Farabi, the great Muslim philosopher of I think the 10th century or 11th century. You have a book by Al-Farabi, and he did write a book that was the book of the perfect city, but this is the book of the opinions of the people in the city. It's Al-Farabi. So they have Karl Marx and Al-Farabi in the Frankfurt School, and a reference to the book that where the international Jewish conspiracy nonsense that Hitler endorsed came from, and they have Capital by Marx. And they have Stephen King all in the same library? I think Ian M. Banks is a real author, too. Just communist? I don't know. Holy crap! This is already the most literate video game ever. I wouldn't know for sure because I haven't, played every video game ever, but wow. Well, anyway, let's get out of there already. So, can I talk to you? Maybe you can help me with the flower. Hello, Patricia Quinn. How you doing? I'm quite fine, thank you. A little tired is all. I am a creature of the night, you know. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just bothered you without even thinking. I didn't even think about how you were probably asleep. Sorry, Patricia, but now that you're awake, sorry to be stereotypical, but you know much about Transylvania? Yes, that is where I'm from. Transylvania. The planet, that is, not the region. Why does everyone always get that mixed up? Can you tell me? Okay, so they have interplanetary travel at this point on this timeline. I'm wishing more and more that we were on this timeline. So tell me about the Isle of the Moon. I've only seen the forests, really. They're quite beautiful, though once I accidentally flew into this one forest that was all petrified. That was scary. Yeah, there is a petrified forest in the United States, out west somewhere, I think. Never been. There. So about the foreclosure, it's ridiculous. Since when can someone own a cave? We live here, they don't, so why not leave us alone? Oh, I see. Their society does not have a concept of private land ownership. And they're better off for it. But now Lord Urizen, I think was the name, has come along and wants to change that, huh? Don't let him! It's about the humidity. Is it just me, or does the humidity keep changing? And it's much too high. I think there's something wrong. Well, I mean, there's something wrong with everything here. About the suspicious flower. Oh, him. He's a little paranoid, you know? And all this foreclosure business hasn't exactly helped him relax. If he gives you trouble, do talk to he'll sort it out. Okay. I guess I'll talk to then. So, we gotta fix the humidifier and stuff? Sure. So, about the flower out by the lift. Oh, for the love of... Please tell me that paranoid plant that if he keeps this up, I'll take away his fedora. I know where he's hidden it. Although, maybe I shouldn't get so angry. He means well. Not that he can really stop anyone, except perhaps by staring them to death. Well, a good point. He is just a flower. What do we care? Go in there. Okay, we can't go in without... I mean, it's a flower. They just said it can't stop us. Or he, I guess if that's his preferred pronoun, I should be respectful. I guess it's a male flower because most flowers have both genders, or have both male and female sex organs. So about the elevator, I just talked to okay, flower? All right. If the boss says you can go in, you go in. I'm just doing my job. Well, finally. Oh. Okay, so I see the software has gone through a lot of different versions over the years. Most recent update by Well, let's just start from the first and work our way up. Although it's odd that the cellar is below 5th. Well, I mean, it's not. But does that mean that the first floor is the top floor? Or that the cellar is beneath the first floor, but they're just arranged in an unusual way? I don't know. You think that having gone through all these versions, they would have had a more intuitive interface by now. Or maybe this is just how they normally do it here in the Fortunate Isles. Oh god, more mushrooms. This mushroom is allergic to humans. There's nothing interesting to say about this mushroom. It's nice, but kinda plain. This mushroom is a clone. This mushroom is looking out for the baby next to it. A baby mushroom. Isn't it cute? Aww, sweet. This mushroom's called George. An ambitious mushroom. This mushroom is tilted. The Organization for Traditional Mushroom Angles would be outraged. Thankfully, they've been banned from Underhome. Yeah, I get the impression that Underhome is a very open-minded place, and the whole place probably smells like mold. These mushrooms are trying to hide from you. They're terribly shy, poor things. I shouldn't say mold, I should say, like, earth. Because mold is a gross smell, but earth, it's not exactly pleasant, but there's something noble about it. Anyway, these mushrooms are all shy, yeah. This mushroom is reading a history book by Raven Locksmith. A sleepy mushroom. Eating this mushroom would cause your nipples to mutate into crabs. Oh my god! No! No! Oh my god, what is it with this and, like, bad things happening to nipples? Like I said, you wanna talk about nipples, more power to you. You could be nipples all over everything, that'd be fine. But don't make me think about nipples turning into crabs. That's like, it's just a mushroom. Man, I wish that was the last one I'd looked at. But like that's one of the things I can't stand, okay? Is nipples being hurt or fingernails or toenails. I can't even stand thinking about these things. I shouldn't even be talking about them. And this mushroom is from Morrowind. It's from Morrowind? So this means that the same timeline is where The Legend of Zelda and Morrowind are? They're on the same timeline? I wonder where they are in geographically, like their relative locations. Well, this is really, they're tying everything together. Now I finally know how The Legend of Zelda connects to our timeline, and that would explain why some constellations that you can see in our night sky in our world, you can also see in Hyrule, in their night sky, because it's actually the same planet but on a different timeline. But I'm still gonna guess it's hundreds of years before this. Well, then again, The Legend of Zelda takes place over the course of centuries, so, these mushrooms are exceedingly naughty, so who knows where it falls exactly relative to this. It depends which game you're talking about. And this is a communist mushroom because it's red. Underhome is powered by anthic energy. So is that what this is? It really is moving slowly. Is this like raw energy or is this some sort of wire? I don't know. You're being watched by something that smells faintly of lemons. What? Something's watching you from the darkness. Oh, I guess there are animals in here. They're probably not dangerous. I mean, I'm sure the would have said something if there were dangerous wildlife here. And so here's Eddie again, wearing some, like, bracelets and, like, a hat. Hi. About the front door. The front door is locked, and it won't be opening anytime soon. The goons came through here, and Underhome is too scared to let that happen again. And they broke one of my terminals. Can you believe that? I hope their nipples fall. No! Quit the thing! Quit it with the nipples! Subnana tree. The Subnana tree grew here naturally, as they do in such caverns. We're not sure where those purple rabbit squirrel monkey creatures came from, but we're quite fond of them. Niam knows a lot more about them than I do. Okay, so I'm gonna guess then that that's what the things staring from the darkness are. Or the squirrel things. The plant nursery is where The grows the biotech you see all around Underhome. When The is not around, Melchior takes over. He's the parrot. At times he can be very protective. Control room again? Please remember, if you need me to do anything for you, please come to my main terminal in the control room on the 3rd floor. I'm conserving energy, so the other terminals have only descriptive functions. Okay. Guess we'll look around here then. Okay, so this is the front door. This mushroom is very cautious. The vase and flowers are actually part of the same organism. It appears to be watching you carefully. Okay. What about this one? It's like a wise old mushroom. Yeah, sure. These two mushrooms think of themselves as Underhome's guards. They're quite upset at the moment. Well, I should think so. They've quite failed to protect Underhome. And we can't open this door until Underhome is healed by feeling safe. Okay, so I guess for now, we're trying to heal Underhome. We don't need to go outside anyway. A smashed Eddie terminal? Well, that's bad. Okay. So what does the other stuff on the side do? Like, what does this do? In your world, it is minute 45 of hour 11. They're right, actually. Well, they'd be right if... Well, no, that is true. It's true for, Central Time. And what does this do? Kitten save function engaged. Huh? And what's this? Oh, we've taken 25 steps. Oh, there's a built-in, pedometer. Nice one, And this is a small mushroom that decided to sneak onto this window to have an adventure. Aw, it's gonna be our sidekick. We're always gonna have our mushroom buddy. This is great. So is this how we... Yeah, that's how we save. These are... Wait, these are the save files? Well, of course we're saving to nipple. I love nipples. They're good to pinch, and babies love them. Okay, so this is the subnana tree, surrounded by more mushrooms. This mushroom has a very peculiar sense of humor. A rare glottal mushroom. You wonder how it got here. Nothing will ever come between these two mushrooms. Probably except some, air. Bob the spider is under this mushroom, dancing a traditional spider jig. Huh. I guess Bob the spider is a pretty talented spider if he can dance and write and build galleons and stuff. Eating this mushroom accelerates brain function. Good! It can be used to cure creationism. I wish there were, more such mushrooms like that in the world. I think it just comes from ignorance, like people don't understand the science because they've been willfully lied to. But no, that's the Bob the Spider mushroom. This mushroom really likes umbrellas, and it wants to look like one, I betcha. Communist? No, it's a very busy mushroom. It could be very busy organizing the overthrow of capitalism. Or just, writing. This is a strangely slippery mushroom. Gross. This mushroom turns into a vegetable when the moon is full. Were-carrot. This mushroom is a very Okay, well, I think we're beginning to... Yeah, okay, well. Can I have the subnana? This subnana has already been claimed by an army of tiny invisible ants. How about this one? A subnana. You're not allowed to pick it up. Great. These boring subnanas are trite and banal. Or bananal. Oh, that was a good one. These subnanas are slightly more ripe than the rest. A chameleon mushroom disguised as a subnana. Oh, those crafty chameleon mushrooms. A shy monkey, squirrel, rabbit creature is clearly interested in these subnanas. You better leave them alone. The creature is too shy to talk to you. The characteristic tail of the subnana tree creatures. Probably the tail of this very subnana tree creature. These are not subnanas. What are they? I don't even want to think about it. These subnanas belong to the subnana tree creatures. Bob the spider once fought Satan under these subnanas. What? Bob the spider fought Satan? Bob the spider needs his own video game. And these subnanas belong to the subnana... Yeah. Some of these subnanas show signs of nibbling. I wonder who did that. You wonder whether subnanas are genetically related to bananas, or whether this is a case of convergent evolution. Okay, so it's telling us that we wonder that, so I guess on some extent the window is channeling our perspective rather than something that, the wrote, because he couldn't know whether we were wondering that. The creatures might go subnanas. Chameleon mushroom disguised as a subnana. No, wait, just a subnana. What would a subnana split taste like? A bunch of subnanas. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we don't know this language. I don't know purple creature language. Oilky squilky be baba katsu? Squee? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to guess that normally every character is speaking in a foreign language, but the window normally translates them. No, there's Melchior. 2 geriatric mushrooms. It's a mushroom. No, it's a mushroom, not a mushroom. You can tell the difference by the missing O. Oh, thank goodness. A mushroom father and son who came here to have a look at the plant nursery. Aww. Just out on a father-son bonding mushroom walk. And these people who want to foreclose the property would take that away from them. What? Oh, it's like a monitor sprout. A biogenic watering can. It enjoys gardening. You don't know what this is, but it seems to be giving off a mild magnetic field. Did you know that according to Joram Duga's partially irresponsible dictionary, the correct plural of time fruit is time fruzubalini? No. This time fruit belongs to Bob the Spider. He intends to grow it into a huge clock tower with legs that will crush people who complain when he's late for something. Okay, Bob the Spider is beginning to sound like a very violent person. It's 3 o'clock. A very small time fruit. It can't even tell seconds yet. A time fruit cluster. They're likely to be synchronized. Okay. This time fruit isn't fully grown yet. It's 1 o'clock. It's ticking very faintly. It's o'clock. According to this time fruit, it's bra o'clock. It's clearly immature. Yeah, tell me about it. Should be panties o'clock. The best time of day. This time fruit will grow into an alarm. So that's how they get clocks in this world, huh? In fact, I bet you that this right here is a time fruit. And frankly, all these time fruits are wrong. It's neither 3 o'clock nor bra o'clock. It's 11 o'clock. What would that be in Japanese? Juichiji is what that would be. These two baby eyeballs are having a staring contest. I don't know if they have eyelids, so I don't know if that'll ever end. This eyeball is looking rather obsessively at your window. Well, it's a very interesting sight for it. A flower of the genus Bulbocodium. A pair of shizzers, yeah. Shizzers. Tools used in genetic gardening must have at least one H. Good to know. I didn't know that, so it's a small shovel, and it has an H. A spatula, so there's that H. And more shizzers. Another monitor. Potting soil. Plug plants. Yeah, plug plants. 2 flowers of the Gearnisae of a family that are gears. And, yeah. Electricity-looking things. And intestinal liana seeds? Not sure what that means. Plug plant seeds. So do the seeds, you plant them in someone's intestines, or do they grow intestines? What do they do? Either way, it's pretty smelly. A strange pink blob. So it's not a time fruit. Now that's a surprise. Can I have one of these? No? Anything? Come on? A single thing? Fertilizer? Why do I want them? Let me talk to you. An unripe keyboard. In the lands controlled by Urizen, these are often harvested and used in mobile communication devices. Huh. I mean, okay. I mean, Urizen might be bad, but at least he's making there be some kind of mobile phones, which I really love that I have them. So you're the parrot. And you say, So tell me about yourself, Melchior. I am Melchior the parrot, protector of the plant nursery. Don't get too close. These plants are still very sensitive, and the slightest disturbance could harm them. When those barbarians broke in the other day, they made a pair of electromagnetic plants turn into electrogenic plants. No, electrogenic plants turn into electrogenic pants. My bad. And a membranous clock into a... Well, you don't want to know. The joke is that it turned into a penis. This is where a lot of the biotechnology of Underhome is grown. I'm not such a creature myself, but I grew up here, in the time tree. That's why I'm responsible for taking care of everything. He told me to, so... he told me to, did. And it's very important. I'm sorry, but your name just keeps throwing me off. Anyway, I guess we'll be on our way. Second story. And I'll save again. Wait, weird sound. 10 stars. 10 out of 10. Nipple. As if I'd go for anything but that. These 2 mushrooms have lived in Underhome since before the was born. 2 mushrooms that suffer from reverse acrophobia. I'm guessing that's fear of heights. This mushroom loves role-playing games. It grew up in a dungeon in Blackmoor. Never give this mushroom milk after midnight. Okay. So now you've got me wondering, is Blackmoor... Blackmoor is probably from another game that I just don't know about. Oh, this mushroom has an extra O. So does that mean that game too is in the same timeline as The Legend of Zelda and Morrowind? I'm going to say yes. It's a small but somewhat arrogant mushroom. This mushroom once walked into a bar. This mushroom smells of yogurt. A big, goofy mushroom. Anyway, I guess you're the fish they were talking about, right? Kia ora, friend. Yeah. You hungry, Waikato? I've been swimming around Underhome all day, trying to see what's going on, trying to fix things, calm the big thing down a little. To be honest, I'm so tired and hungry that I feel sort of giddy. Could you fetch me some fish food? I'll be able to think a lot more coherently if I've got something in my stomach. And there's certainly a lot to think about. Sure, I can get you some fish food. Leave it to the new guy to do everything. Okay, so this is the living room. Also, I never looked at all these. So this is a map. Yeah. So this is our... Oh, it can quick travel. Well, we're already in Underhome, so it's not like we need to do anything new there. And here we have our inventory. So we have Bolsha whiskey, poke it, Trotsky's. Smell it. Smells of historical materialism. The turning of the historical dialectic. As tempting as it might be to drink, you have to use this as an alchemical ingredient. How do you know, Window? How do you know we're going to do alchemy? And a mouse? A rat? The mouse says it's too proletarian for this potion. It's a mouse. Sure. And here is the Decipherer disc. A disc for restoring a device called the Decipherer. Sure, poke it. Just find the Decipherer and stick this into the appropriate slot. Smell it. Smells of wood. Okay, so that's interesting. The disc is like made of a ring of wood. That's an interesting way of storing data. Eating wood may be fun, but you might need this. Anyway, here it'd make you really gassy. What do you think? The mouse is bored by this thing. And we also have a scroll of recipes. Are we going to become a cook? I like cooking well enough. So, nothing is in it. Okay. More mushrooms? Niam planted this mushroom herself. Huh. This mushroom was born in May. This mushroom is interesting, but boring. A dizzy mushroom. This mushroom has no nose. It smells terrible. Another perfect pun. And I also will say that these are some rather phallic-looking mushrooms, but a lot of real mushrooms are. Very comfy sofa. It smells of lavender. The goons who tried to take over Underhome ruined the carpet with their metallic feet. Metallic feet? Are they robots? Did Lord Urizen send robots? Or, I don't know. It's the computer's iCam. Okay, so here's the computer, and the user is Cornelia MD. Log 549. Hey, what's up? How are you? Okay, so this is a dialogue between Cornelia and Cassie. And Cornelia is talking about how... Yeah... No, Cassie's talking about how no one ever listens. She wonders why people hired her. And, it's because you're talented, thanks. What's the point if they don't listen to me? I do all this work, and I collect all the data and analyze it, and then they just sit on it. I guess they're afraid of your findings. But being afraid doesn't change anything. The mathematics are clear. You can't keep taking stuff out of a system and expect it to keep growing. It's absurd. Dad said sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. I guess he's right, and they get angry when they do hear it. I guess some things are pretty much exactly the same on this timeline as they are on ours. Oh, this is between Cornelia and her dad. Dad says good morning. Dad's been working all night, and he says she should sleep. She says he should sleep sometimes. Oh, and they're talking about a password changing. They have the password for the roots, so we need to know that. So yeah, Dad, I forgot to tell you, I recalibrated the Rhymos whatever, because, yeah. And they changed the password, and then because there were some bugs, and they recalibrated it. Bugs? What kind of bugs? Oh, the big black bugs, yeah. Digging scarabs. And the new password is kittens. Would you like some? Yes! I bet that's exactly what Cornelia would have sounded like if she were speaking this aloud. Well, the question then is, so the password's kittens. That's a terrible password. They have terrible internet security here. Okay, so hey kitten. Aren't you cute, aren't you? So this is a log between... So, but you don't know how to type. I guess you don't really need to. Did she get a kitten? Is she just, like, conversing with a kitten in a chat room and the kitten's just smashing the keyboard? I mean, I guess so. No one goes into Niam's workroom when she's not here. Besides, it's locked and she is the only transponder. Well, okay. I guess we need to find Niam. A painting of the tentacular homelands given to the and Niam by Niam's mother. Tentacles, huh? Kinda weird. And this door is also locked. Well, we'll talk to Eddie, like they say to. We will, after we go to the third story. Okay, so the third story is where we started out anyway. I guess since we're here, we might as well go talk to Eddie. So, first of all, I would like a translator to better talk to the people in the Subnana tree. Or the animals, I guess. A translator for the Subnana tree creatures? The little purple money squirrel things? Money squirrel? Yeah, I think we've got a translator device for their language, but I don't know where it is. Maybe ask he might know. So about the locked doors. Oh yeah, oops. I completely forgot that. Underhome has auto-locked a bunch of doors, and the goons knocked the last transponder mushroom off a shelf and stepped on it. You should be able to get a new one from the plant nursery, though. Just ask Melchior. Okay. Hello? Translator. I'm pretty sure that Niam took it along in case she found another Subnana tree. Yet another reason to find Niam. Although, I guess I'm not entirely sure why we would need to talk to those creatures. So we'll talk to Melchior after we check out the next floors. So here's the fourth story. This mushroom smells of bacon. This mushroom smells of barbecue. What you're seeing here is the mushroom equivalent of a hug. Aww, they're like squishing their caps together. These mushrooms appear to be doing something, but you have no idea what it might be. And I assume this is also locked? Yeah. Something is functioning at 7 out of 12 degrees, but you have no idea what. And is this Bob the Spider? No, this is Leonard the Spider. Hi, Leonard. Tell me about yourself. How you doing? I'm good. How are you? Oh, I'm kind of unhappy, honestly. At the same time, I'm beginning to make some successes in my life. I feel that I'm also beginning to encounter a lot of, for the first time, really serious problems. So, do you know Bob? Bob the Spider is the world's first arachnid superstar. All spiders look up to him. He's the dude, you know? He was God's mentor. It helped him write several of his bestsellers. He invented air and trousers and physics, and he won the Olympics before they sold out to the man. Okay, hold on. So Bob the Spider is a painter. He's an author. He made a drum made of ears. He mentored God and defeated Satan? Bob the Spider? Why isn't this the adventures of Bob the Spider? Who am I in comparison to Bob the Spider? What right does old mackerel phones have to even pretend, even talk, when we can talk about Bob the Spider? I apologize. I'm getting worked up with this one because Bob the Spider he's who we all aspire to be. So, what'd you think of Underhome, Leonard? Underhome is awesome. But I hear the humidity's been having some problems. Yeah, the interface over there allows you to control the humidity. It's gone mental. The normal setting is 21. Maybe if you set it back, it'll stop freaking out. Okay. These bulbs indicate that there is no problem with the anthic energy. They also act as a convenient nightlight. It's very convenient. You know, they multitasking. They have multiple functions, very efficient. Oh, 21! No! Okay. So I see that it's in manual panic mode. So, he said 21, right? Bring it down to 21. This is a constant battle because it keeps just resetting to other things. No, 21! No, 20! Yes! We did it! I feel like I just wrangled with Underhome itself, and yet I feel more closely bonded to it for the experience. And now it's set back to normal. I guess it's kind of like when Jacob wrestled with the angel. That was a weird scene. And Jacob also did lots of horribly unethical things, and I think it's terrible that he would be held up as a paragon of virtue. Anyway, it's sometimes a lighthouse is just a lighthouse. Yeah, this isn't like in that Virginia Woolf novel. A tasty umbrella. I bet it tastes like salt. Whose bedroom is this? Well, I guess it's these mushrooms. A mushroom single parent and its child. Oh, well, I hope that mushroom single parent's doing well. It can be hard for a single parent in this economy. Communist? A Bolshevik mushroom? It is a communist. Heck yeah. A special fish lamp. This fish loves to listen to old REM songs all day long. This fish appears to find you quite fascinating. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that I'm just like this window floating through the air, right? Because from their end, it's probably like there's this window that's mounted on, say, like plant roots that can like walk, and that's what it looks like from their end. Hey, fish food. Well, we know what we're doing with that. All the things the tentacles can do, a guide to unlocking your abilities by Sepiata Headfoot. Does someone here have tentacles? Jorum Duga's completely innocent guide to the implements of restraint. Wait, tentacles and implements of restraint in the bedroom? They're up to some kinky stuff here. I mean, I'm not judging. I have no right to judge, but a biogenic photo of a beautiful landscape on the Isle of the Moon. Even the photos are biogenic. This is, I mean, just the fact that they're all plants makes it so much more sustainable. Like, even the roots, like, the bed is grown on roots. Socks. Yes, indeed. Various bedclothes and stuff. A variety of extremely elaborate underwear, most of it grown on bioengineered panty trees. I wish I had such a tree. The drawer is full of invisible clothing. Well, that doesn't seem very useful. Like, why would you put it on? Well, I guess that it could, like, provide warmth. So maybe if it's cold out, and you want to wear warm clothing, but you also want other people to see you as naked for some reason? Can we look in these drawers? This drawer is full of chocolate bars. In this drawer, there are several mechanical devices, including a clock. Important detail. A medal for Best Techno-druid handed out by the J's Techno-druidism organization. It appears to be a large vibrating egg. I'm sure. A beautiful biogenic photo of Niam. Aw, I guess she has green skin? Or it could be the photo is tinted or something like that. This is locked. Yeah, what's behind us? Oh, the Decipherer. We already have the disc for this thing. This mushroom disapproves of moles. No one knows why, but it does. Maybe it had a bad experience with Mr. Moley. Did Mr. Moley turn up in a video I've done yet? I think so. I mean, from the Kirby series. This mushroom is thinking about the theory of permanent revolution. I see, it's because it's another communist mushroom. Brian Blessed once sang a song about this mushroom. Man, Brian Blessed. This one turns into a turnip. This is a stolid mushroom. And one of this mushroom's ancestors is a lemon, because it's yellow. This mushroom is called Spiros. These mushrooms are debating the contributions, or lack thereof, of the Frankfurt School. The Frankfurt School again! Twice in one video game! That's amazing! And it's also... I mean, of course these guys are... One of them's a red mushroom. Is this a mushroom or a lever? Oh no. This is the biojournal of Caitlin Mysterious Druid. Text goes here. Remember to move this message. You forgot. Well, let's begin looking. Started working on my first biode device. Yeah. Started working on my first bio device. It's a special journal for me so no one can read what I think. Dad says I should focus on learning one thing at a time. First biotext or first biosoftware, but I can make this work. I know Underhome well enough, and I'll work on this project every day. It'll be awesome. Oops, forgot to work on this for a while. Well, there goes the everyday thing. I met this boy called Alan and, well, I don't know. He's not like the other boys in Port Derrig. He's a lot more like me. He likes to go to the shadowy glen and watch the squawkses and the drunk frogs from the brewery, and he likes to read books. But I don't know, he's more like a boy and not a man. I can't imagine him holding me in his arms. I mean, I'm stronger than him. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Work some more today instead of going to the beach with Alan. I've added a second screen, but I don't know what it's going to be for yet. At first I thought it would be cool to have a second interface, then I thought maybe it will be showing pictures, but now I'm not so sure, and besides, I can't get it to show pictures yet. Underhome is more complicated than I thought it was. It's because everyone in the families kept adding to it over the years, everyone in their own way. It's really chaotic. Kind of like your stream of consciousness style. Hey, they skip entry 4. Wonder why. Well, let's go to 5. I deleted the last entry. It didn't make any sense. I wish I wasn't so unhappy about boys all the time. Maybe it would just be easier to date girls. But I guess that's not true. Aaron is having the same problems as me. Maybe girls are just as weird as boys, and we just don't know it. Anyway, David asked me to go to the dance, and I said yes. So excited. Don't know what I'll wear. Not another robe. He won't like me if I show up looking like a sack of potatoes and all the other girls have pretty dresses, especially if that girl from the Isle of the Stars is there. She's so pretty. I wish I had green skin, too. Hey, you don't need green skin to be pretty. In my view, being attractive anyway is largely a matter of, like, sort of how you carry yourself. No, I mean, some people really are not attractive. 6. Wow, I haven't looked at this for years. I was so busy with the 4th floor and everything else. Maybe I should finish this someday. I can't believe how crude the code is, though I suppose it's not bad for how young I was. Unbelievable that so much time has passed. If I tried to write down all the things that have happened to me since then, David, the baby, the fighting, the divorce, I wouldn't even know where to start. If I could go back, if I could go talk to that little girl who wrote the last entry, what would I tell her? She wanted to love her prince so very much. Would she have listened if I'd warned her? Probably not. And why should she listen to some bitter old woman's platitudes about being yourself and finding someone who is your equal? Well, because it's good advice and she should listen to it even if they are platitudes. Maybe I should make a tradition to go back to this machine every few years. This time Alan encouraged me. Just writing that gives me a flush of pleasure, and it feels completely ridiculous. It's like something out of a romance book. Well, minus the scars, I suppose. I am a little jealous, though. Moira gets along with Alan even better than I do. They conspire against me, my daughter and her adopted father. She calls him Dad, undermining my efforts to be depressed with parties and unexpected journeys to watch squawkses in the Glen is shameful. No, so she got together with Alan in the end. I'm glad. Anyway, so 7. Wait, this was 7. Never mind, 8. Where did the time go? It feels like it was only moments ago that I started working on this device, my own private journal, when my biggest worry was the next dance and what I would wear. I hold this unfinished project in my hands, its second screen that still does nothing, its cumbersome input code that could only have been written by a child, and it really feels like I only just started working on it this morning. Now my daughter is older than I was when I started working on it. How very peculiar life is. Well, yeah, when you make bad decisions like getting together with that jerk David, and just saying like, yeah, I wouldn't even bother to try and tell myself in the past about it because... Okay, so she doesn't say she wouldn't bother telling herself in the past. She says it probably would be useless. And maybe she's right, because kids are complete idiots. Anyway, not that I'm bitter or anything. Anyway, it's almost over now. I don't know why I felt the need to add one more entry. I guess I feel that since I never managed to get it to version 1.0, I should at least complete the story these entries tell as much as it may leave out. We're always going on about this circle of life, so it only makes sense that my first and last journal entry should be in the same place. Alan doesn't know how to deal with it, but I'm so sad. Of course, I wish I could... No, I'm not so sad. Of course, I wish I could be around for my daughter's wedding, but you have to let go of your children at some point. And I know I'll miss Alan, though. And I know I'll miss Alan terribly. But I also know we'll be together again. And we'll always have roots in this world. We'll always have Underhome and its family. What we leave behind connects us across the worlds. Huh. I just read someone's life story. Is this the second screen that does nothing? Or no, it does do something. Okay, so air filtration. Blue? It's harder to read. I like it. It's like that, the flavor of the windows in, the Mother games. No, not Extremophile. Not Extremophile. We need to be able to survive the air. So, Elcor, a cumin, that's us. That's us. Did I fix it? I mean, actually, we're like a plant thing, but did I fix it? Is it... I mean, I don't know. The issue is I don't know if it was on this to begin with, but I heard a little writing noise, so I'm gonna say yes. What do you think, Blue Mushroom? Doing pretty good, right? I could give you a name, but I'm not going to, because, you know, what right do I have? You know, you're your own mushroom. I can't name you. So this is the Decipherer, and it's broken. Restart? I guess we use that disc. Whoa, what just happened? Wait, let me... Right, that's a bad voice for the Decipherer. Let me try again.
Whoa, what just happened? Wait, let me access the network. Last thing I remember is some goons breaking in, Underhome freaking out, and then... whoosh! Thanks for restarting me. The system must have suffered quite the shock.
Oh, I don't like that voice either. I'll give him a different voice. So tell me about yourself, Decipherer. I'm still trying to pick a name for myself. Names are important, so I've got to take it seriously, you know? I wasn't meant to be a sentient being, just a regular Decipherer. But then Rupert Mysterious Druid, when he was just a kid, installed a bunch of games in my system so he could play instead of doing his homework, and the artificial intelligences of the non-player characters in those games accidentally became an intelligent singularity, and so I became myself. And because of that, I really appreciate what a wonder it is to be conscious, to be alive and know it. Can you decipher things? I can't really decipher or decipher anything, but I play a mean game of Pong. Nah, kidding. I suck at Pong. But I'm great at Borderlands. Honestly, though, I really don't do much. The and Niam keep me around because they like me, and because they like to play with me. Not because I serve some function. I'm here because I'm part of Underhome, and Underhome is part of me. That's all. That's everything.
Well, nice talking to you, Decipherer.
It's also nice seeing that smell of games. Man, my whole Macrophone's channel smells like games. So, that was the 4th floor. A spider web that's mostly used as a tennis net. I see, so they're not, like, killing people anymore. Well, mostly. They probably still occasionally catch a bug. And 5th floor. We're not going to be able to do much on this floor with them locked. So, this table is, like, on a stalagmite or tight? I'm not sure which. So, is this entire Underhome like a cave or a plant? They said it has a heart, right? Like veins? So is it an animal? Well, I don't know. But there's a lot of life here anyway, and not just in the strict sense of all the fungus. But as that journal entry we just read, as those demonstrated, there's history here. The souls of all these dead people who've lived here over the generations. No, that should have been the last one I looked at. That would have been perfect. Who lived here for generations? The Mushroom of Venice. They filled this place with life. And it really is terrible that Lord Urizen just wants to steal it for some garbage economic reasons. An experiment gone wrong has flattened those mushrooms, huh? What does that mean? Are they like two-dimensional like in Super Paper Mario? A prolix mushroom. This mushroom is trying not to sneeze. Communism? Yeah, this mushroom supports the 4th International. It's a communist. Wait, the 4th International? So the 1st International was the one that Marx and Bakunin were involved with. I'm not sure what the 2nd International was, but I believe the 3rd International was the Bolsheviks. So what's the 4th International? Is there a contemporary socialist movement? I don't know. A strange Italian man once tried to eat this mushroom, claiming it would make him bigger. What? Oh, wait a minute, it's like Mario! Okay. These 3 mushrooms like to hear fairy tales. Oh, well, they should have been here for my Nier Let's Play. That's when I was talking about fairy tales. 2 bits of ceiling cabbage. More ceiling cabbage. Is this also ceiling cabbage? This mushroom is slowly turning into a salamander. Nope, not ceiling cabbage. And are these crystals? Crystals formed in the bowels of the earth. Some people think these crystals have powers. They're wrong. Yeah, they are, but some people are gullible idiots who will believe anything. They're like willfully lie to themselves. And these crystals are nowhere near as interesting as a mushroom. I don't know about that, but it is true they're not alive like the mushrooms are. Is this another vase, flower, single organism? Yes. This flower thing, because it's one creature including the vase, so yes, has no time to talk to you. It is thinking about the implications of Tolstoy's seminal work, The Kingdom of God is Within You. Well, Tolstoy was, I think he was an anarchist, not a socialist. Hey, sweetie, I'm on my way out, but I just realized I forgot to tell you something. Remember that maneuver we were talking about yesterday? Turns out it would be quite possible, told you, with the help of a potion of agility. The recipe's under this note. Something to think about till I'm back. Love, Niam. Okay, so I was right about them being involved in some kinky stuff, but look, I really don't want to know too much about your sex life. But at least we have this recipe now. I'm sure now they'll be able to do whatever crazy inserting of the penis into whatever orifice they were thinking of. The back door! Can we get out through this? This pink mushroom makes homophobes uncomfortable. Ceiling cabbage grows all over these caves. Okay, so that pink mushroom is not one. Okay. This mushroom smells of hamburger. It probably just ate one. This mushroom is deeply religious. This mushroom is getting a little hungry. Well, probably because the other one ate its hamburger. So only that one pink mushroom is a gay rights mushroom. This is a pompous mushroom. Also rather phallic mushroom. This mushroom has 2 brains. Oh, must be doubly smart. A mushroom mentor and its fungus follower. It's Mushroom Jesus and his mushroom apostle. A small mushroom with a big heart. This mushroom likes ice cream. Me too. If this mushroom was green, it wouldn't be blue. And I can't argue with that. Oh, it's a silly lizard. Okay. And it smells like Pollyanna, huh? I read that. What's up, lizard? Who says, by the way, hi-wee-wee-hee! I'm a lizard! We-co-weeded Jew! I'm a lizard with a tail! What do you think of the? Is he a lizard? Do you know how to open this door? I've got scales! Wah-ha! Do you like it here in Underhome? Yay! I'll take it as a yes. And those thugs would probably just kill them. An adolescent mushroom. These mushrooms were planted by Herbert Mysterious Druid, huh? Very big mushrooms. The back door is locked. Maybe that screen on the side can tell you more. Maybe it could? Yeah, unlock. Okay, so we're going to need to restart it by going to the study. But then we might be able to actually get out of Underhome. Well, we're still working on fixing it, so not a big deal. Yeah, okay. And who are you? Oh, it's a thoughtful lizard. What is a lizard? Am I a lizard? I see, it's a philosopher. What do you think of the? Does he know about us? What are we to him? What do you think of Underhome? Is this our home? Are we its lizards? Is it a cave or a life form? What does it think about us? What do we think about it? Are we part of it? Is it a part of us? What do you think of this window I'm using? Are you looking in? Am I looking out? They're not mutually exclusive. Both are happening. Do you know how to open the door then? Like, where's the study? It is an entrance? No, is it an entrance or an exit? Can a cave have a door? If the sea rises, will we drown? Will the door hold off the waves? The sea will claim everything, lizard. Cookie? Can I have a cookie? Oh, sure. Whatever. Well, it's pretty much everything. So, go to the cellar. This is the only floor we haven't been to, so here are the roots, and there's a mushroom, too. A mushroom pioneer. The first to grow on this floor. More power to you. I hope it's one of the pioneers that's not just going to slaughter the natives. Whoa, these roots have one massive description. Must be because they're all interconnected. What are you talking about? It's not a massive description. It doesn't even fill off half the bio text interface. So the filtration mode is random. So enter the password? Well, it's kittens, right? I think. It's kitten. Is it kitten or kittens? Okay, so nothing is happening. So I'm gonna guess it's kittens, plural. Yes, it was! what a great sound effect. Credits. Oh, this was programmed by Cornelia. Man, I was hoping it was Caitlin. Oh, she was only 15 at the time, which means she is awesome. Darn right she is. Now what? Well, I forget what we still have to do. Oh, wait, we need to get a new carpet? That's actually one of our goals? And we should make a cookie. Oh, so yeah, we need to bring Waikato the fish food, and restart the security system, get the translator device. Well, the issue is that if we're going to find Niam, or get a carpet, we have to, or to go to the mayor of Port Derrig, we have to leave Underhome. So, that's our main goal right now, I guess, is to open the back door. So how about first we go get the transponder mushrooms, and then we go to Waikato. So, can you tell me about the Decipherer? We really get along. Actually, I don't like this. This isn't the right voice for a parrot. A parrot should sound more like, we really get along! He's kind of like me, you know? But I won't do that, because that'd be annoying. He grew up right here, and he cares about the plant nursery. Don't tell anyone yet, but we've been thinking of starting a role-playing group. We just need to decide which system to use. I really like the simplicity of Oblitz and Gene Monsters, but I've heard Joram Duga's inexplicable rule set is also really fun once you understand it. But it's inexplicable. So about the roots. Hey, you fixed the roots. Good job. Protecting the roots is one of the most important parts of raising a plant, you know. I read a great book about that once. It said that if you pay too much attention to the superstructure, the stuff that's visible, you forget about the base. But the base is where everything grows from. This is even more important when it comes to growing mushrooms. Mushrooms are pretty weird. On the subject of mushrooms, about this transponder mushroom. A transponder mushroom? Yes, I happen to have such a thing here. I'll give it to you in exchange for your help. You see, the plant nursery is in need of a new delivery of fertilizer. Now, fertilizer is kept in the room of boxes and generally brought to us by the or Niam. But since neither is currently available, someone else has to take over this task. So, bring me the fertilizer, and I will give you a transponder mushroom. Well, I'm okay. Sure, let's go. Isn't that... it's on the third floor, right? The transponder mushroom? The boxes? Oh boy! What else do we have to do? Get a new carpet. Oh yeah, and bring the fish food to Waikato. Well, we're already here. I guess we'll do this. After I... save again. Nipple! Anyway. Oh boy. You see, the unique thing about the nipple is that it's the forbidden part of the breast. Even though babies suck on them. Okay, let's begin. Guess we'll just go through them one by one. This box is full of unused cutlery. Bob the Spider is in this box, building his own personal TARDIS. Once again, why aren't we seeing the adventures of Bob the Spider, huh? I mean, then again, that's pretty pathetic after he mentored God. I mean, God could just give him a TARDIS, right? There's a lot of air. There's only a tiny shovel in here. This box contains a copy of the Ferengi Rules of Acquisition, utterly useless. So, does that mean that they're in the same continuity as Star Trek? I'm gonna say no. Because this one doesn't open because it's full of glue. Because lots of trousers in that little tiny box? Really? Okay. But I'm gonna say no, because you could have the Ferengi Rules of Acquisition, even if something fuzzy. I'm gonna guess it's a caterpillar. even if, like, the Ferengi are just a fictional invention in this timeline, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to, be able to write a book about their supposed perspective on things. So, yeah. Star Trek is just a fictional invention here, which, once again, it's interesting to see the way this timeline is diverged and the way that it hasn't. Because on this timeline, they also have Star Trek, but The Legend of Zelda is real. And that's a good question. Why is there a piece of salami inside that box? Hey, there's the other half of that GNU. That was one of the earlier boxes. This box contains 11 blue socks. They're missing one. This box is full of playing cards. Apparently you found The's Old Druidism the Reaping collection. Okay. Bob the Spider is in this box, using it to explore the hidden properties of boxness. But Bob the Spider was in an earlier box. Well, maybe he finished the TARDIS and has since moved into this box, teleporting using the TARDIS. This box contains the severed heads of Louis XVI, perfectly preserved in jam. Or the severed head singular. Well, that's gross. Why do you have that? I mean, you know, I get it. It's really good that people wanted to get rid of the horrible cruelties and oppression of the nobility. Yeah, better close that box. But, you see, that's always the problem with revolution, is the violence. Like, another chameleon mushroom. But, like, you have to in order to change systems. This box is the home of a bat with a bat. Lives here because it had a spat with a rat and a vat. And the thing about revolutions, and this is like, so like Kropotkin is one of the great anarchist writers, and he fully endorsed a revolution, and more trousers here. But the thing is that he often was kind of hesitant to address the fact that it would essentially have to be really violent. Rat food, bat food, cat food? No, fat food, and hat food. Is hat food food for hats or food made of hats? I don't know. Oh, and this is vat food. What the hell is vat food? This box is made out of ticky-tacky, and they all look and they all act and they all are just the same. There's a green one and a brown one, and they're all made out of ticky-tacky. And I don't really know how the song goes. Unfortunately, I never memorized that one. And this is a very peculiar petrified potato. This box contains something you cannot identify. It smells of hay and caterpillars. Well, that makes me nostalgic. When I was a kid, I caught so many caterpillars. But in any case, like, Louis XVI should not have been king. He should have been overthrown. But did he really need to be beheaded? And this contains chitinous panties from Morrowind? Well, I have no clue what chitinous panties are. I suppose that that this once again confirms it's we're in the same timeline as Morrowind. But then again, I shouldn't speak of the same timeline because I mentioned The Legend of Zelda. And the timeline in The Legend of Zelda actually diverges after Ocarina of Time. So really, The Legend of Zelda is already multiple parallel timelines. Imagine if Link had the reflector. He could hop between those parallel timelines. Well, not really, because he can never go back to the timeline that was exactly the same as the one he came from. Luminous knitwear. You see, it's funny. As much as I hate Yuno, because it's just the worst piece of awful garbage ever. Wait, what? This box seems to contain a stone, a piece of vellum, and a mummified Japanese military dictator? Yeah, that's pretty odd. It smells of broccoli. Several rock crystals in this box. This box is full of dirt. This box contains some kind of biotic energy, better keep it closed. This box is dedicated to elephants. Wait, how did we more jam, but how did we know that box was full of biotic energy if we didn't open it? This one contains scarves. No vowels. I'm sure it's going to be in this, like, central stack. Is it this one? This box contains squid-based writing implements. They're quite squishy. This box contains an old tourist guide to Silmeria. This box is used for storing old electrons. Don't open this box. It contains Morris dancing. Huh? Another box. This box contains an earring shaped like a cuttlefish. Cute.
There's something green inside this purple box.
This box contains sausages. Ugh, they're probably rotten by now. Though everything in this place is rotten. It's like one giant compost heap the people live in. A vegetarian box made out of real vegetarian. A box turtle. A turtle box. Why the hell are there so many boxes in this room? Because the boxes have accumulated over all the generations that have lived here. Also, why don't they have lids? This box contains pickled peppers. Okay, so it was none of those boxes, although they are arranged in an attractive series of colors. So on to this side. It's really not much worse than the library. Lemon-scented lingerie. Oh, geez, I wish I had some lemon-scented lingerie. This box is bigger on the inside. Actually, you suspect that many of these boxes are like that. This box contains popcorn and some kind of weird trophy. There's a lot of dust in this box. This box contains thousands of pages of handwritten notes in a language you don't understand. This box contains an artificial brain. This box contains Niam's old trousers. There's some sort of magical orb in this box. Probably useless. This box is delicious. So did we just randomly decide to lick that box? This box is full of mementos that no one hyphenated is ever going to look at again, but that have to be kept anyway. Yeah, there are a lot of things like that in life. Terrible box. Yeah. More boxes. I mean, we've had 2 boxes with panties in them, so that's not so bad. Man, that box is irrelevant. Hey, fertilizer! Why can't these things ever be in the first place you look? Well, it took a while. But let's keep looking. Oh, you are never searching these boxes again. Well, okay. Huh. You drive a hard bargain, Melchior. But it wasn't a total loss because we did get to see some panties. And any day you see those is a good day. I should just buy some panties so every day can be a good day. But I don't want to do that. I mean, I probably will eventually. But I'm not doing that now. So, where is this? Fertilizer? You're not a gardener. It smells of moss, hummus, and spelling reform. The latter is particularly strange. Or is that humus? Along with, like, loam, I remember that's one of several words you use for soil. Are you a vegetable? No, but maybe I like eating poop. What do you think, mouse? Great, the mouse chirps. Some smelly dirt. Really wanted some of that. You're welcome. What about the fish food? Food for fish to eat. Yeah, makes sense. I think I can follow that. You want to use fish food? How? Is a wig. It smells of dried algae and wormy things. It smells interesting, but better not. The mouse nibbles the food, then ignores it. Yeah, that sounds like the mouse all right. This mouse is just so unsupportive. Is it so much to ask for just some kind of positive feedback, huh, mouse? Gosh. Well, anyway, so look, Melchior, my man, here's your fertilizer. Ah, thank you. Here's your transponder mushroom. You probably need to have Eddie configure it for you before you can use it. Try the main terminal on the 3rd floor. Nice. Look at all this stuff. It's kind of amazing. Anyway, what am I doing? Oh yeah, now we'll go to the 3rd floor. Hey, Eddie. Hi. So about the roots. Waikato tells me the roots are doing much better now. Great work. And the password is kittens, huh? We really need to start writing this stuff down. Maybe grow some kind of wiki mushroom or something. Well, speaking of mushrooms, I happen to have a transponder mushroom right here. One moment. Yes, accessing the Spore database, rewriting fungus permissions. Here you go. Great. Let's see. Well, let's take a look at this mushroom. It works automatically, like most objects do, which kind of makes you wonder why the went to the trouble of growing this interface. It smells of tiny fungic particles which transmit messages to the doors. Oh, so that's how it works. You eat the transponder mushroom. Let's hope it'll still work. Yeah, let's hope. Well, one way to find out. It was tasty, though. That was the 3rd floor. This is the 4th floor. Let's see. Yes, it works! And this is the study! We can get out of here now! If you look very closely at these mushrooms, a dog will sneeze in Belgium. Strange but true. You know, they're probably right. I bet you a dog sneezed in Belgium right now, but you can never prove it. This mushroom is French. An unexpectedly clastic mushroom. 2 existentialist mushrooms, probably talking about Nietzsche. This mushroom is slightly inebriated. A mushroom that smells of lard. Just a bit of ceiling cabbage. What the heck? Huh? So this turns the graphics on and off, but not this spot? Oh! An adapter. Okay, well this'll satisfy my craving for those plug plants, but... So if you flip that switch, it means it doesn't just turn off the graphics, but it shows you all items you can pick up. That's actually really helpful. Something's growing in there. Better not to disturb it. You're right, so I won't. This drawer contains a series of sketches illustrating potential new rooms for Underhome. They're signed Robert and Moira Mysterious Druid. In this drawer, there are precisely 114 ballpoint pens. Not a single one of them works. Well, I'm not surprised they're not throwing them out. They seem to have a problem with that here. Miscellaneous junk is accumulated in this drawer. Scribbled notes, reference books, photo of Niam, sketches of a biogenerative power converter, and a petrified piece of pizza. Okay. There's notes about various biogenic processes and aspects of Underhome, almost impossible to read due to his squiggly handwriting. I'm under the impression that they just kind of leave stuff sitting around Underhome until they, rot, or petrify, or decay. Also metallic feathers. So that means that there are animals that are naturally metallic. So maybe earlier when those goons had metal feet, they actually are just naturally made of metal. It's possible. Oh, I found a safe key. Well, a safe key. A key for a safe, not a key that is safe. Okay. I did not expect that. A snow globe. A Stonehenge snow globe, given to by Merlin himself. Wow! So Merlin is a confirmed historical figure in this timeline. I'm not surprised. Magic seems to be much more prominent on this timeline, particularly given that this is where the Legend of Zelda and Morrowind happened. Well, they didn't happen here in these islands, but somewhere on this planet. This drawer contains invisible papers. Now, unlike the invisible clothes, those strike me as completely useless. Inexplicably, this drawer contains a scarf. What madness is this? Also, another real book. Also, I notice that, In this room, Eddie is wearing a necktie, so he's no longer explicitly wearing women's clothing. So, just pointing that out. And here is Mathematici Syntaxis by Claudius Ptolemy. Did Claudius Ptolemy actually write something with that name? I wouldn't be surprised. On the use of bananas in alchemical compounds by Muhammad ibn Musa. I'm surprised by all the Arabic names that are turning up in here. You don't normally see those. This is communist? No? No, it's not. Not sure what Shia Gorath is, but I don't like the sounds of it, even if it does give blessings. The Forerunner by Khalil Gibran. I don't know if Khalil Gibran actually wrote that, because I am the opposite of a fan of Khalil Gibran. I'm a person who does not like the works of Khalil Gibran. The 11th Hour and Other Poems by Ivalio Shmilev. Stealing Mumu's Egg by Thangobrind. History of the City of Larkar by Thomas Shapp. Arcana Restored by Wapna Nustra. The Secret Fist, A Political History of the Isle of the Stars by Ibn al-Nadim. So, is the Isle of the Stars like Arabian? I guess? I read a book once on Arab seafaring in ancient and medieval times, which was also the title of the book. I have a feeling that the Arabs who founded the island were sailing around back then, and found it, landed on the island, settled there. Myopic mustard, huh? I think there are a lot of people in the world who eat a lot of myopic mustard. Billy said Keep Going by Ben Mears. Upon the Uses of Gods in the Work of the Detective by Sherlock Holmes. So, this is also on the same timeline where Sherlock Holmes existed? Well, clearly it's not our version of Sherlock Holmes, because he's fictional. But this is a timeline where there was a real Sherlock Holmes, who was probably quite different from our Sherlock Holmes because he lived in a world where magic was more commonplace. But then again, if magic is commonplace and well understood, and once again, they just leave stuff mold here, but doesn't that mean that it's like not magic, like it's just some other natural phenomenon that science knows how to talk about? Well, anyway, tell me about the study, Eddie. Study? This is the study, sometimes also called the office. Unlike the rest of Underhome, this room is currently actually less chaotic than it normally is, because The hasn't been here in a while. Niam usually takes care of the really difficult paperwork for him anyway. Computers? A variety of administrative functions can be accessed from this room. In theory, anyway. The shock to Underhome's system has turned things topsy-turvy. Still, I'm sure you'll find something useful here. Alright, I'll turn off the Biotalkatron for now and take a look at the computer. Well, that's not very useful. And here we are, security, status, and credits. Output. So, version 0.02 by The... So this was just recently built by The, although it's based on code by Matilda Mysterious Druid. Add a separate screen for this, give credit for Niam's additions to 0.3 when it's ready. Well, 0.3 won't be ready for a while. So here's our Underhome system status. Humidity, roots, and air filtration are all working as normal. The carpet's in the same category as air filtration. In any case, though, the arteries are clogged and the neural net's in panic mode, so there's still a lot of work to be done. And how about the security? So there's an error. Restart. Oh, we need the disk. Okay. Disable? No. It can't do that, so we need to get the disk, and that might fix things. I mean, that's the main way you troubleshoot computers in my experience, is by getting the disk. Okay, so I guess we'll get the disk. 4th floor? Okay, so we were just on the 4th floor. 5th floor. A lot of choices here. What's behind us? So that's that door. Okay, the bathroom. We're gonna have some good toilet jokes. It's either a towel or a tonsonnant. I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what a towel is. Shower gel and shampoo that smell of protons. A sponge made of cheese. A beautiful Vorlon lamp. This fish is called Renee. This fish is called Pierre. And they watch people poop. This bulb is very useful for people who like to read on the toilet. It has been specially calibrated to give off the perfect light. It's Squeakus Maximus, the rubber duck. Toilet paper based on the work of Slavoj Zizek. I don't know what that's a reference to. It could be like an insult, or it could be that Slavoj Zizek actually made like a sculpture out of toilet paper or something. A special toothpaste developed by The's grandfather. It contains org nanobots that track down and destroy caries? Do you mean cavities? Well, whatever. 2 dental cleaning devices. You found something green? And it's bound to be useful alchemical ingredient. But hold on. From the toilet? Nothing else to find in there. You just like opened up the toilet and there was like a bottle of green goo? Ugh. Okay, let's get out of here after... Oh wait, hey look. Have you ever noticed that these things always accumulate the most disgusting fluid in history? And that they fall over whenever it is most inconvenient? The second part is true, but I don't know. I've never noticed a fluid building up in mine. I think it's because I always rinse off my the toilet brush after I use it to scrub the toilet, and there are slots in the toilet brush like holder so that the water can evaporate. And the room, well then again, I don't know. It feels like that shouldn't quite work. Oh hey, the kitchen. Hey there, Chef Eddie. Hi. Welcome to the kitchen. We've got everything a cook can possibly want. There's an oven for baking things, a stove for brewing and boiling and frying, a fridge, an excellent selection of cooking implements, and even a few cookbooks. Stains? If you notice any stains in this room, in fact, if you notice any stains in Underhome, or the vicinity, that's, my chocolate cake. There was an accident, a miscalculation with explosive results. Niam says it registered on her seismograph. Okay, so you're causing major damage to the environs. Communism? This mushroom is interested in the work of Mikhail Bakunin. It's an anarchist socialist mushroom! Vive la revolution! Here's what I say, although I do have mixed feelings about the necessity of violence. But I suppose that just as capitalism was ushered in with bloody revolution, even the so-called glorious revolution in England, which was glorious because of the lack of violence. Flamboyant flower sure is flamboyant. Even that was, if my understanding is correct, the floor is also flamboyant, looks like a disco. But even that, if my understanding is correct, was basically not violent because the, English Civil War had already done the bloody part. But my understanding could be completely wrong. I don't know much about British history. This drawer contains several flavors of chocolate, including pepperoni. We cover it in rich, creamy pepperoni. I'm not very good at a strong bad impression. This drawer contains cutlery. A delicately balanced cluster of kitchen utensils. An egg timer. It's being kept in the kitchen until it hatches. You found liquid cheese. There are other things in that fridge, but looking at them evokes such a sense of cosmic horror in your soul that you would rather keep it closed. Why? Is it because they're all moldy? Or is it more like what happened to me, where I open a refrigerator and I see all the ingredients and I'm just depressed about all the things I don't know how to cook? Moss pepper? Rock salt? Drazy mint? orange oregano, and hermetic new spice. Protozoic pinching pepper, Gnostic garden ginger, Scathe-Craw sodium seasoning, alarming asparagus aggregate. This drawer is filled with water. In the water lives a family of sardines. Hey, I had sardines for lunch yesterday, so this is kind of awkward. A Tomentous tomato. Oh dear God. You don't have anything to bake right now. There is just a bit of broth boiling in there. You could brew up a soup of your own if you had the proper recipe. A biogenic toaster. The good thing is that these, unlike their mechanical counterparts, do not suddenly catch on fire. Hey, I've never had a problem with them, Look, even the oven is grown with roots and the dials are flowers. Anyway, I've never had a problem with toasters catching on fire, but then again, I've never used a toaster. A Bolshevik plate. Is it red? Looks kind of brown to me. I guess it's red. A bottle of brachial breviary. Though frankly, I expect some of these colors may sort of bleed over into each other, because the whole thing looks like it was drawn in with like markers. A metadimensional glass. A bottle of moderately good wine, mostly used for various sauces. Well, don't whine about it. Polydimensional casseroles, probably moldy too. This spatula had a small fight with the other kitchen utensils. A left-wing soup ladle. You can tell by the color. All these references to the color red. This looks like it belongs in a garden, not in a kitchen. Oh, are you sure it's not a Bolshevik or something? The Cookbook by Vic Rand. A book containing handwritten recipes by Moira Mysterious Druid. Too many to go through right now, but worth keeping in mind. Why? I mean, we can just look at them and our scroll in the window will automatically copy it down, right? Well, I suppose the window just doesn't want to look at it right now. So cook-wise, bake-wise, 101 Completely Mad Recipes by Fragno Yuckblaster. Herman Toothrot's Guide to Piratical Cooking. McGee on Food and Cooking. And yeah, that's it. Okay. These plates have been in the family for over 4 generations. No one has ever used them. Aw, I guess they're such fancy china that no one ever feels like it's a formal enough occasion to use them. My grandmother has china like that. These plates are stuck to each other. You don't want to know why. Ah, gross, don't do that in the kitchen. People eat in here. Well, anyway, so what all do we have at this point? An adapter. You don't need to be connected to a power source. Oh yes, I do. My window is plugged in right now. Smells of currants. It's probably delicious, but you might still need it. The mouse says it already has one of these. Bolsha whiskey, fish food, flamboyant flour. How about you put it in an alchemy machine? If you keep playing around with it, it'll just make you sneeze. Don't sneeze on the window. The mouse sneezes. Well, good job, mouse, you sneezed on the window. You may have misunderstood something. Many foods contain flour, but you can't eat this stuff raw. Okay, my bad. I didn't understand. Liquid cheese. You found this in Underhome's fridge. Only the gods know why you took it. Liquid cheese is indeed the worst thing on earth. Well, after natto. No, don't move it! Why it sloshes about. The horror. The horror. Okay. It smells like Marlon Brando's feet. Well, it's because he's the one who said, the horror, the horror. Stop that! Have you no dignity? Or sanity is what you should say. You like cheese, right, Mouse? The mouse raises an eyebrow at you. You call that cheese? I know. What about the tomentous tomato, as they might say in some places? You pet it. Feels like a tribble. Strangely, it smells of oranges. Every time you even think about eating it, somewhere in the world, someone loses their faith. The mouse thinks you've finally found a pet that fits you. Oh dear God, indeed. Everything in this place is moldy. Does the just eat moldy food? I don't know, he might, honestly. So, second story. Yeah, this is where the fish is, but I don't think... Whoa! Well, whatever. Fish, how you doing? Waikato, I mean. Kia ora, friend. Fish food, here you go. Oh, thank you. This is excellent. I feel a lot better. Ah, yes. Now we can think about what to do next without being distracted by my growling stomach. What about the roots? Thanks for fixing the roots. I just swam by down there and the water tastes much better. Waikato? How you doing? Tell me about yourself. I was born far away from here, in a country of great mountains and cold rivers and long white clouds, but I've not been there for many years. Sorry. Sometimes we find new places and we become part of them as they become part of us. This is why I live in Underhome now, ever since I came here with Rupert Mysterious Druid, The's great-grandfather. I'm part of this place now, and it is part of me. Even if I return to where I was born someday, Underhome will always be part of me. So, you like Underhome quite a lot, huh? Where to begin? I must tell you that I'm quite worried. I've swum all around Underhome's arteries, listened to the heart, had a look at the roots. Everything is upset. It's as if Underhome's mana has become disturbed. I've done what I can, but more is needed. Thankfully, I've got some ideas. One is to look for advice from a doctor, or perhaps several. Maybe there is something we can brew that would do some good. The other is to find someone, possibly also a doctor, who can build me a specialized tool for cleaning Underhome's arteries. I think that would help a lot. I see. So, I have no idea why this is a dialogue option, but Wakapapa? Wakapapa is a word in the language of my people, but it is hard to translate. I wish there was an equivalent word in your language, because in the end, I believe that everything that happens in these islands is about Wakapapa. You see, understood correctly, the word means, how shall I put it? The descent of all things from one another. We come into the world through love, or imagination, or evolution, down the rivers of time, but everything is born of another thing, and thus everything is connected. So it is. So, how can we clean the arteries? Many of Underhome's arteries are restricted or clogged. The intrusion sent a real shock through the whole system. Under normal circumstances, I can just remove blockage by chewing through it, but this is much worse than anything I've seen before. I think that because it was so shocked, Underhome absorbed a lot of materials from the ground that it shouldn't have. I'm going to need some kind of specialized tool to fix this. Oh, so that's what was wrong with the roots. They were absorbing toxins from the ground, or in any case, things that shouldn't be absorbing. Well, at least that stopped, but we gotta clean up the gunk that's already in here, right? Why is this an option? Brew something. For lesser ailments, the usually boils a soup in the kitchen. Underhome absorbs the fumes, and they help, but he's already tried that, and it's not enough. So perhaps you should look for a stronger recipe. Can do, Waikato. So hold on. Yeah, I didn't look back here. Oh god, so many mushrooms. Well, let's begin. A sleepy mushroom. These two mushrooms have been debating fungal philosophy for more than 3 weeks now. Probably the issues of ethics. A chameleon mushroom pretending to be another mushroom. You wonder why. It's probably involved in like a mushroom spy thriller. And so as a result, they're like, it's impersonating someone for the spy agency. This mushroom's a nuclear physicist. This mushroom is afraid of sunlight. This mushroom is humming a song by Florence Risset? An elegiac mushroom. Just like To the Lighthouse was an elegiac novel. Also a novel that I hate, it's so boring. Virginia Woolf's writing is like unreadably awful. Why does anyone like her? This mushroom is reading a book by Yakov Sverdlov. I'm gonna assume that's a socialist. Oh hey, this is the disc we need to get out of here. Well, okay, we'll do that in a minute, after I finish looking around here. The image shows a mountain goat in the Mountains of Oddness. You don't know who this is, but the photo makes them look unintentionally frightening. A biogenic photo taken by Thu's old friend Abu Yusuf al-Kindi. A biogenic photo of a beautiful oasis on the Isle of the Stars. A rare photo of the triangular eye squid. I thought it was that thing from the library. A photo from the Peculiar Plains. That's pretty peculiar. Although then again, I have a feeling that all this place is peculiar. In fact, what would really make the Peculiar Plains peculiar is if everything there was normal. This box contains a smelly old achievement. It belongs to but he doesn't need it anymore, so if you want it, go ahead. I'm gonna guess that I just got a Steam achievement, but I wouldn't know because the Steam overlay is disabled. A blue box. Contains a slip of paper with the name of a two-hearted alien on it. Okay, I assume that's a reference to something. A sideways mushroom. This mushroom loves a good human sauce. See, the joke is that normally it's humans eating mushroom sauce. Very kind mushroom. This mushroom is a bit of a prankster. There's a very tiny fairy reading a book under this mushroom. Aw, can we talk to her? Well, I guess you don't want to interrupt her while she's reading. I'm really annoyed when people interrupt me while I'm reading. This mushroom believes that the means of production should belong to the people. Another socialist mushroom, and another mushroom that's right. Well, it's actually left. See what I did there? A purple Drazi mushroom. A bottle of fine Brevari. Not as good as excellent Brevari, but better than meh Brevari. These two mushrooms are giggling to themselves. Probably one of them unintentionally made a sexual innuendo. It's a broom. Pronounced Bruttenholm. Oh, so it's a Bruttenholm. This mushroom used to be a privateer. Never ever eat this kind of mushroom. Seriously. Well, they were willing to tell us about the mushroom that turns nipples into crabs. So, I don't even want to imagine what that mushroom would do if they consider it too terrible to even write about. This mushroom doesn't know who you are, but likes you anyway. Oh, hey, I like you too, mushroom. Another communist? Or a socialist, I mean? A socialist mushroom, nail on the head. Just like that time earlier when I said the nail was male. What time is it? Okay. I guess I'll look at the boxes. This isn't a box. It's a big hollow cube made of cardboard that can be used to store things. Yeah, it's not a box. Oh god. There are so many books. It's kind of incredible to me. Ibn Sina? Now, the name that's an unusual spelling of it, but that's another famous medieval Muslim philosopher. Pliny the Younger? Well, I don't know that he wrote something called Roman Architecture 7, but he's most famous for the letters that he wrote, the letters of Pliny the Younger, which were later released as a book. You see, Pliny the Younger was a Roman, official whose uncle, Pliny the Elder, wrote a famous book of natural history and died in Pompeii in the Vesuvius disaster. And, after that, Pliny the Younger was writing these letters before that, but His book was basically just a compilation of letters he had written to people, which is valuable because it provides a kind of insight into life in a way that most writing from the time just doesn't. The most famous passages in it are probably the ones where he describes the burgeoning Christian cult in the countryside, and also the passages where he talks about Borg Culture by Sherlock Holmes. Okay, so I guess that Star Trek, that this is real in this continuity then. I mean, they do have space travel to get to planet Transylvania, so I guess they've encountered the Borg and someone has written an anthropological study of them? Well, I hope they haven't encountered the Borg. The Borg would be even worse than Lord Urizen. Well, in any case... Whew. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Pliny the Younger. And the other most famous passages from his letters are probably his description of the Pompeii disaster, and he returns to the site where Pompeii was, and describes it as looking like a completely alien wasteland, where it's practically impossible to imagine that used to be where he had lived briefly. Or I think he briefly lived there. He might have lived there for a long time. Where his uncle had died. Topological ball. If I remember, he said of Pliny the Elder that more communism. I'm very interested in Trotsky and should read some stuff he wrote, but I haven't yet. Is this like a whole Trotsky shelf? No, now it's Stephen King. Trotsky to Stephen King. What a shift. Alas, he had no cheeseburger, by Gata Gatoli. Counter Dogi, by Oreo Antweiler. Gothos Folly, by Gothos. And Memories of Alathurian, by Unknown. Guide to the Cyresian Mountains. Well, in any case, if I remember right, he described Pliny the Elder as like, he would have slaves carry him on like a chair when he was going to the forum so that he could be sitting down. No, he was like on like a platform with a chair and desk so he could be sitting down and still writing. That's how much he wrote. Oh, it's a communist box containing the tears of 1,000 Engels. It's bright red. Makes sense. And this is not a communist box. It just contains black dynamite. Don't interrupt it or you interrupt its kung fu. You really don't want to do that. What? What does that mean? Well, whatever. If you gave this potion to a hamster, it wouldn't know what to do with it. Hamsters aren't very intelligent. Naughty Naiad juice. I feel like they keep calling stuff naughty. A bottle of Domtodermatic growth hormones? If you drink it, your teeth will become covered in skin. Disgusting, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Folded shirts that have been out of fashion for several centuries. This clock only shows the time when it feels like it. It was designed by a cat. Yeah, sounds about right. Here Comes a Candle by Erasmus Fry. Well, in any case, man, just more of these books. There are so many of them, and they're like an odd combination of weird made-up stuff and real books, like those books by Trotsky. So that means that the Soviet Union existed on this particular timeline we're on right now, right? Yeah. So in this dimension, which even though it's so different from ours, there was a Soviet Union. Because otherwise, how is the revolution betrayed, etc.? Wait, what's in here? Oh! Okay, there's no power source detected for the Alchemifactor 1000. Oh god, more books! No! It was a fun and amazing at first, but at this point, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. There are mushrooms, though. An amusing mushroom. Communist? No, an amused mushroom. Being amused by the amusing mushroom. Constant exposure to alchemical experiments has turned this mushroom into a hartebeest, though only on the inside. No clue what that means. And apparently this carpet did not originally look like this, but was experiments gone wrong. Benevolent lizard juice. Essence of Narlic. A bottle of lubricant. Green chocolate. Don't eat it. A bar of transgenic soap. Artificial artidactyl acid. A bottle of hypodermic hiccup herring hydrocolloid. This bottle contains terrifying turtle tea. Forest tiger tea would be a reference to Crazy Cat. Practical Applications of the Philosopher's Stone by Elizabeth Lepidus. Well, I guess there is, alchemy going on here. But what practical applications are there for the Philosopher's Stone other than immortality? I mean, haven't we been through this back in, Zork Nemesis? Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone? What a thing to have on the same shelf. That was funny. I didn't see that one coming. The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Wait, I read that one too. It's okay. Wait, the Case of Charles Dexter Ward? Is this just like a shelf of everything associated with alchemy they could think of? You know, it's interesting, the Case of Charles Dexter Ward, because, well, it's an interesting story. But it also is, you know that famous horror game, Amnesia: The Dark Descent? What really struck me about that game was that the storyline seemed lifted almost directly from the strange Case of Charles Dexter Ward. Now, it's not exactly the same, but there's so much in common that I'm sure it must have been inspired by it. Orotund orange juice, a bottle of Zethratic Zwitterians, Menshevik solution, so I'm sure it's more socialism, hydraulic, I don't know how to say, it's a flour, distilled blue meatloaf. It's even worse than normal meatloaf, ugh. The Hermetic Corpus, so once again, more alchemical books. Are these all going to be alchemical? I'm expecting the answer is yes. Not that one, though. A breviary of alchemy, or a commentary upon Sir George Ripley's recapitulation, being a paraphrastical epitome of his 12 Goats by Irenaeus of Philauletes. Books did used to have titles like that back in the day. Ugh. Disgusting schmoss. A treatise on the alchemical properties of jelly. Oh, so that's why there keeps being so much jelly around. The Grand Mysteries of the Egg of the Holy Powers, huh? The secret of the immortal liquor called Alkahest. Alkahest! That sounds so familiar. I know I've heard Alkahest somewhere. But I mean, I don't remember where. Wait, Asimov? Really, what is Alkahest? I feel like there's a book called The Alkahest. It's probably Arabic. Asimov on physics. Yeah, this is an Asimov shelf. Is this like... Yeah, this must be the Isaac Asimov shelf. Okay, now with a name like that, it sounds like some kind of scientific paper rather than popular science, but that's fine. Because, okay, the Asimov ended. Because Asimov was, after all, like a trained... I think he was a biochemist? Either a biochemist or a... I think he was a biochemist. By trade, although, of course, he was a author. I really like Asimov. He's one of my... I really admire him because he was so prolific and so sort of dedicated to his principles. And not only was he so prolific, but they say that he wrote in every genre of the Dewey Decimal System, except for philosophy. Which is perhaps ironic, because a lot of stuff he wrote was so philosophical. But the thing is that I guess I have the same feelings about him that I have... Well, I remember in Dr. Zhivago, there was a passage where somebody says, like, of philosophy, that they don't like reading philosophy books, that's too much. But they do like philosophy as sort of flavoring in the novels they read. And that's kind of how I feel about it. Every sort of philosophy book I've tried to read, I think is pretty much garbage for the most part. Not all of them, but most of them. Because it's like, they've completely arbitrarily made up these, like, systems that they claim reflect reality with no basis in reality, and then they, like, talk about them like they're real. It strikes me as completely useless. Anyway, how you doing, Eddie? So, what's all this stuff in here? This is the alchemy room, where various wonderful things can be brewed. Unfortunately, you're not seeing this place at its best. Those goons who tried to steal, repossess our home, managed to break the old alchemy machine. We were forced to order a completely new one, but we haven't been able to get it to work yet. And even if it does, it's bound to be missing many important ingredients. So, tell me about the junk in here. There are 2 machines, one in this room and one in the next. Wait, there's a next room? Okay. The machine in this room is used to create potions and other concoctions. It works the following way. When you select a base for your potion from the upper row, and then you select 2 ingredients from below, the order the order does matter, so be careful. The machine in the other room is simpler. It allows you to refine existing potions or objects by adding something special. Some of its ingredients are missing too, though. Okay, so we select the base from the upper row, and then the next 2 from the second row. Okay. And what's so... Okay. And so... Okay, so this is the other room they were talking about. Pretty impressive I figured that out, huh, Blue Mushroom? I figured out to walk a little bit to the right. A flamingo carpet. Aw, hoping we could use this to replace that broken carpet, but I guess it wouldn't really fix it, because we're still, like, just replacing carpets in the same house. Another somewhat drunken mushroom. And these ones love schnitzels. A voyeuristic mushroom. An exhibitionistic mushroom. Hey, they're perfect for each other. On the allergenic properties of guava. Oh, God, more books. Look at all the books. You know what? I'm not going to look at all these right now. I'll look at the rest of them later. I'm not up for this right now. Oh, this one's by Cicero, though. He's pretty smart. Purple gnat excretions. The excretions of a purple gnat, that is. That the substance itself is also purple is a coincidence. A giant's nephrolith. Okay. A potion of verbosity. Several of those went into making the window you are currently using. I'll say they did. A bottle of lipophilic lard. This bottle contains the substance known as RDM. Drinking it makes you shake, gives you strange religious visions, and then turns you into a technophobic caveman. Does taste good sometimes, though. Yeah, I'd say the risks are not worth the rewards. Disgusting frog soap. It's capitalized, so I'm going to assume that's the title of a book, rather than the name of a bar of soap. Green grease, spider new sweat, tell you where to stick your postmodernism. I assume the answer is up your ass. So I'm beginning to suspect that the developer of this game does not like postmodernism and is also a socialist. Not that I blame them for either thing, but essence of Urk, water from the unholy lagoon of Likainen Muta, desolidified watermelon rind, This is the stuff they make sneezes out of. This bottle contains anti-capitalization elixir. Clearly it's been pretty effective. No one knows why this bottle contains sand. Some suspect a posthumous prank by Bedelia Mysterious Druid. Acerbic aardvark jelly. Prometheus Unbound by Percy Shelley. Never figured out how to say his, rest of Percy's name. Well, okay. You know, I'm a fan of Percy Shelley, but I've never actually read, Percy Shelley. And also, this one's red, so it smells like Kropotkin, who I talked about earlier. Yeah! Nothing! Woo! Okay, we have a lot of things to do still. But nothing! Where is it, bro? Okay. It does nothing. Smells of tofu. Huh. Wouldn't have thought. The mouse isn't interested in nothing. And no, that isn't a double negative. You eat nothing. I hope we can get some more. Yeah! There's more nothing in the box, but you've already got some. I see that my published short story about somebody who uses nothing as a concrete object, somebody beat me to the punch there, with the idea anyway. And here's that safe with which we got the key to, I assume, and it contains some fire-resistant gloves. Who knows, they might come in handy. And what's this thing then? No one really knows what this thing does. Really? I'm surprised. I thought that was the machine that purified potions. What about this? Oh no, this is the machine that does that. Okay, so at this point we have no potion to refine. Though what's this? Well, I don't know what any of those things are other than the hideous tomato beast and the flamboyant flower, so I'll be on my way. So, what does this do? It mutes it. Why would I ever want to do that? This music's great. What do these do? Oh, they adjust the volume. So, red is quietest volume and green is highest volume. Good to know. Well, I suppose we should go to the office then, which is on the 4th story? Yeah, and let's boot it up, right? Like restart it because we have the disc. We have that disc, right? Yeah, the security disc. Just use it on the right machine. It smells of really secure wood. The mouse warns you not to lose this disc. Don't eat it. Aww. It's something green, and it's green. Or it's something and it's green. It squibbles. It smells of squoo. No, you'd need this for your alchemical experiments. Yeah, that's why we shouldn't eat it or drink it, you know? It's not because we got it out of a toilet. The mouse says you better get your head examined. Okay, the mouse might have a point. A pair of fire-resistant gloves. They smell of coal and braziers. No, that is to say braziers, not like braziers as in like those ovens. Braziers. They'll be automatically used when you need them. That's the thing, I'm not sure how to pronounce that word. Brazier, I don't know. Wait, you want to eat the gloves? Why? The mouse climbs inside one of the gloves and has a look around. Oh, good, we got a house for him. A key for a small safe. The safe is not in your stomach. It smells of peculiar alchemical ingredients. A definite hint of myopic mayonnaise, too. I thought it was myopic mustard. Well, I guess there's myopic mayonnaise and myopic mustard. Now, I am literally myopic, which is why I wear glasses. But, I'm not myopic in the metaphorical sense, and mice have no needs of safes. As I wish we didn't either. So, security. Restart. And, restart again. Yeah, 1 restart per day is quite enough. You'd hope so, but that is the main way you troubleshoot computers, so... Can we get out now, then? Unlock? Yes! Yes, okay. We can get out now, which I think we have to do, right? Because we need to get a new carpet, so we have to do that outside. We have to, for some reason it didn't let us look through that recipe book. So, I guess that recipe isn't in there. But to find a doctor, we have to get outside. To, investigate the foreclosure and talk to the mayor, we have to go outside to Port Derrig. And certainly to find Neum, we gotta get out of here. So, let's embark into the world. Nipple. But food prices on the mainland have become prohibitively high, so high that I haven't been able to get Ooklandish ookberries or Tyrian thyme in months. I don't understand why this is going on. Surely it has not become more expensive to grow them. Well, it's going on because of the vile machinations of the landowners.